president gained from his tour today? You talked about where he visited, the exhibits that he visited. Did he also visit slavery? And the reason why I'm asking this is because when he was candidate Trump, he said things like, we made this country, meaning white America, not necessarily black. Did he gain?
Well, I don't know why you would say that. What do you mean?
We're people that work very hard. We're people that have built this country and made this country great. And we're all together. And we want to get along with everybody. But when they have organized, professionally staged lifestyles, we've got to fight back. We've got to fight back.
But here's what the cameras didn't show. Keep your eye on the guy with the long hair and white t-shirt on this YouTube video, waving to the crowd as he's led out of the arena. Watch again as he's sucker punched right in the face by a Trump supporter in the cowboy hat and black vest.
This video shot by WLKY has now gone viral. It shows Trump supporters pushing a woman out of yesterday's rally in Louisville. You can see several people inside the Kentucky International Convention Center shoving the protester until she left. Well, I don't know why you would say that. What do you mean?
I don't know anything about David Duke, okay? I don't know anything about what you're even talking about with white supremacy or white supremacists. So I don't know. I mean, I don't know, did he endorse me or what's going on? Because, I know nothing about David Duke.
But I guess the question from the Anti-Defamation League is, even if you don't know about their endorsement, there are these groups and individuals endorsing you. Would you just say, unequivocally, you condemn them and you don't want their support?
Well, I have to look at the group. I mean, I don't know what group you're talking about. You wouldn't want me to condemn a group that I know nothing about.
Well, I don't know why you would say that. What do you mean?
When Mexico sends its people, they're not sending their best. They're not sending you. They're not sending you. They're sending people that have lots of problems, and they're bringing those problems with us. They're bringing drugs, they're bringing crime, they're rapists, and some, I assume, are good people.
Look, Donald Trump may or may not be an anti-Semite. I can't read the man's heart. But and we need to be very careful about that.
Right.
But he clearly has winked, and he has enabled, and he has empowered folks out there. This stuff that was out there, the anti-Semitic alt-right, was very vocal and active for much of 2016. And they had plenty of opportunities to denounce it and shut it down. The reality is that alt-right movement, which is very much a white nationalist movement, is also deeply anti-Semitic. And these figures, again, feel themselves mainstreamed by what has
14,000 apartments in 39 different buildings, all mostly white tenants. That is until the Department of Justice took notice in 1973 and slammed Donald Trump and his father, Fred Trump, with a lawsuit. Trump management was charged with discriminating against African Americans and breaking federal law. Donald Trump, then just 27, was president of the company.
Well, I don't know why you would say that.
This is our last chance to save our country and reclaim it for we, the people. This is it. You don't have another chance. I really believe this is it. Because we're going to turn our country around. We're going to take back our country. We're going to take back the White House.
And that this is the president who ran really was propelled by the politics of white identity politics. This is the guy who questioned the citizenship of the first African-American president of this country, who continues to inflate the crime statistics in urban centers like Chicago, threatens to bring in the feds. And I think people hear a lot of dog whistles.
Trump's campaign, and before that, head of the conservative website Breitbart News. Bannon himself has called Breitbart a platform for the alt-right, a movement associated with white nationalism.
You got a lot of blowback the other day from saying, hey, you may have to go in and shut down some mosques. Were you actually saying you need a NYPD intelligence unit to get a network of informants?
At a minimum.
I've been treated very unfairly by this judge. Now, this judge is of Mexican heritage. I'm building a wall, okay? I'm building a wall. I am going to do very well with the Hispanics, the Mexicans.
So no Mexican judge could ever be involved in a case that involves you?
He's a member of a society where, very pro-Mexico, and that's fine. It's all fine. But
Except that you're calling into
I
question
think he
his
should
heritage.
recuse himself.
The woman died, which she hopefully will not be dying, but if the woman died, I think they should be executed. I think you should have the death penalty. I think most people agree with me on that.
Was the ad careful to say if? Because there could have been a bystander,
Well,
could have been someone
you
wrongfully
can write
arrested.
anything. I mean, here's a fairly long ad. It was fairly detailed and I am strongly in favor of the death penalty. I'm also in favor of bringing back police forces that can do something instead of just turning their back, because every quality lawyer that represents people that are in trouble said the first thing they do is start shouting police brutality, etc.
The prison sentences of the Central Park Five were overturned, but by that time they had already served between 5 and 13 years. In 2014, the men were awarded a $40 million settlement from New York City. The story that had gripped the city for years came to a close. And yet one Manhattan resident's obsession with the case continues to this day. Just weeks after the crime was committed in 1989, Donald Trump took out a full-page ad in 4 New York newspapers advocating the return of the death penalty. Just this week, Trump said he still considers the men, again, exonerated by the criminal justice system and by DNA scientific evidence, guilty.
To President Bill Clinton and Lauren Victoria Burke, managing editor for Politics 365. Thank you all for joining us.
Victoria Burke, managing editor of Politics 365. Joining me now are Michelle Cottle and Lauren Victoria Burke. Thank you both for being here.
Lauren Burke Cox, as well as Lauren Victoria Burke with Politics 365 and The Root. So.